Alright guys, we're back at Hampton Downs, and in this whole complex is the Jenkins boys now. So they're here prepping their cars, ready for the next round, and we're just going to go see what they're up to. Show you around, since the last time I shown you guys was at a completely different joint. Troy boy, what's happening?
How are we?
Benny.
G'day mate.
Here we are, eh? Brand new shop. Look at this.
Yeah. So unfortunately our other shop got demolished for a school that went in. So
Seriously?
yeah, not far from here. So we had to find something really quick last year, July. So we came down here to Hampton Downs. It was just the easy option because we're close to the track, and a few other drivers had a place down here. Obviously Mike, Darren used to have one here, and it's just a really nice space, really close to home, and brand new 250 square metre workshop that we can house everything drift inside and our whole program out of.
Far out. So normally, I suppose you had a few cars at the other shop, but I haven't seen these before. I've seen the yellow one, but...
Yellow car, Craig.
Yep.
Who's one of our great pit crew, been with us for years.
Yep.
We helped him build that car to get him into drifting, obviously back at our old place at Drew, which you've been to.
Yep.
There's my grey car, which was my practice car a couple of years ago, which a good friend of mine has now purchased to use over the summer coming up.
Oh, so you don't own that anymore?
Don't own that anymore. Life things happen. We had to buy a house. Troy and I now have purchased a house that's just close to here at Hampton Downs.
Oh, wicked. Congrats, fellas. I haven't achieved that goal yet.
Yeah, so I had to sell one of my toys, but it's all good. No stress. That car's an amazing car. It's sitting there ready to go for a friend of ours that's going to come drive it over summer. And the other cars here, Michael Clark. Everyone in the New Zealand drift scene knows Michael Clark. He owns Casper Transmissions. He looks after so many drivers here in New Zealand.
Yep.
He's a damn good egg, as you would say. He stores it here. He does a lot of Drift Force days, Mad Mike days, and practice days. We do a bit of maintenance on it for him, bit of setup, and he just loves to come down, get in the thing, take it to a Drift Force day, take his friends, employees for rides, and he just beats on it.
Yeah, right.
So he keeps it here, and we look after as much as we can to help him out, and he just loves it.
Yeah, right. So it's obviously just still RB, pretty basic.
No.
Oh, no. Not another freaking...
This thing is ex-Kurt Blackie Pro Sport car, which you would have seen years ago.
Which was RB?
It was RB in brown.
Oh, that's disgusting. No wonder it's here.
Yep.
Jesus.
SRs and 2Js are here.
Well, the RB blew up. That's why
did
it's
it?
got a 2J.
Oh.
Yeah, no wonder.
Okay.
Yeah, so put a
Standard RB things.
reliable,
Hey.
brand new 3-litre 2J in it. And
Brand spanking new, like a factory brand new one.
Yep, so North Shore Toyota, NST parts supplied. A whole lot of drivers got in on this build. Troy and I didn't have too much to do with the build on this car at all, but a whole lot of New Zealand drivers, D1NZ drivers, sponsors and the like, gave back to Michael Clark. He's such a legend in our sport, and they rebuilt this car with a fresh 2J in it after some issues he had last year, and we unveiled it at Hampton Downs Chrome Festival last year. So he saw it for the first time. It's got a Jericho 4-speed behind it and a big diff, and yeah, he loves it, and he's an amazing person inside the New Zealand drift scene, not only in D1 but all around with Casper Transmissions.
Definitely. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, let's get to your cars. I was really hoping that was another B. God damn it. Rightio. So these have changed quite a lot since my last video.
Yeah, a little bit. So, before last season, we did like a massive refresh on them. So motors came out, went to a new partner of ours, Hughes Race Engineering, and got the motors fully, just called them maintenance. So we did the full maintenance on them. Just everything came apart, cleaned everything, new rings, head gaskets, everything possible we could throw at them, we did it. After that, we went to JT Performance and a couple of other upgrades with going to the larger GDR, the R35 Gdr Coil Packs now. We used to run Yaris.
Yep.
We got rid of the cover that we had, the factory cover like you saw on Mike's car before, because we feel like those were overheating the coils. So now we've gone to this clear cover, which is really good. So now it's easy to get to, plus they stay nice and cool. A couple other bits and bobs, rewired this car. We did some additions to Ben's car as well. But the biggest change would have been in the back, but we moved the radiator from the front to the back. So we used to have a radiator just placed in here, but we just couldn't get the coolant temps cold enough in these cars, especially for the rounds like we just saw in the weekend at like Mount Smart and Bay Park that were upcoming. The temps would get up there because we just didn't have the flow. So changing to the rear radiator in the back, now we got, you know, the Rad Dan water neck set up down the bottom here, which also has a bigger alternator.
Same as your Super, right?
Yeah, he's everywhere, eh?
Yeah,
Like,
they're really good. They're
Great
really
parts.
good parts.
Red Dan does some amazing parts for 1J, 2J, VVTI, non-VVTI.
Yep.
Obviously you see a lot of stuff in America, and some already on that Supra. But there's some amazing CNC and billet parts that we just had to have involved in these builds to make it easy for obviously deleting the water pump and getting all that water to the rear radiator through a Davies Craig water pump, which is underneath the floor.
speaking of, could we have a suss of the car at the back?
Sure can.
Like an underneath and that?
Yeah.
Just to see what like sort of goes into moving everything into the back?
Yep.
Because you've changed all this as well, haven't you? Like,
Yeah, so the cars both had a bit of damage on the quarters on both cars. Ben's is a little bit worse than mine at one stage, so we decided that we would use my car to sort of mould all of this fiberglass paneling.
Yep.
It's okay, so we took that off the factory panels when the car was all together. Now the car is cut off back here. Pariah Custom Works was one of Jesse's crew. He's got a custom shop there, a fabrication shop on the North Shore, and he did the work for us. Where we cut the back off, including the chassis rails, all of the skin in here. So now this is all fiberglass. So, you know, we've got concrete rounds. If we do damage this back part here, knock a tail light out or damage any of the quarter, we've got the mold now to just put a brand new fiberglass piece on there.
Jesus.
Okay, and that's all just riv nutted on, so it's really easy to come off for cleaning. As you see, the chassis rails have come off. So now we've got this like lift bar and sort of bash bar that ties it all in.
What's going on with, what are these? They're like...
These are like speedway.
Yeah,
these are speedways, so they just put a bit of tension on there because we lift the car from this back point here.
Yeah.
So we just needed something to give it support, and these were the easiest ones, just in case this did get pushed up or something like that at a wall round. We could adjust them just like this and put some more tension on there.
That's crazy.
And these are really inexpensive too, like really inexpensive to buy. So if we bent one of those, it's better to bend one of those or break one of those than having all the bar work welded in and having to pull it all off. So this all just bolts off, including all the support here for the boot, the rear tail light, and then you're back to the chassis rail here, which protects all of the rear radiator.
Yep.
The FedEx radiator in the back. The big fan shroud, so this is probably one of the secrets as well as both the electric water pump, so the Davis Craig water pump, which is controlled by the Haltech ECU. That's almost like a, what's the word for it? A thermostat, yeah. So that's almost like our thermostat as well.
The shadow over there in the trailer.
So this is like a thermostat. As the cars warm up, the pump improves on duty cycle, so it lets the car warm up nicely, and then it also increases when the car gets hot. But two massive spout fans. What are these, 16-inch spout fans as well?
These are 14s.
14s.
So 14-inch spout fans that are all controlled as well. And to be completely honest, these cars only ever run one fan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
The other fan there is just a safety, which keeps it cool if it ever breaks that barrier. But they don't even touch the mid-90s if you beat on them.
I'm sure they would when you do your Victory Skids, though, fellas.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
But we used to
6 weekend. Come on, we're due for that.
We used to have sprayer systems when the radiator was in the front. So going to this rear radiator setup, the amount of volume of water we've got in here, twin pass radiator now. The big fans, as Ben said before, these are staged. So one comes on at 85 degrees, the second one comes on at like 93 degrees if it needs to. So it helps out with all the electronics in the car. But then also the electronic water pump is honestly the key to just keeping the flow. So
where did you have your fuel tank?
the fuel tank was in the back.
Fuel tank was right here. It was in between the two rails, and we always ran a Jazz cell, kept it simple, all available really locally in New Zealand. It had external, really noisy pumps. It had a lift pump, all external, a lot of things external of that tank. But during the off-season 2 years ago, when we decided to do this sort of process of changing the whole car, at the same time James Dean was building his S14, which he'd competed in Russia as well.
Yep.
It was actually just before that we had the idea of lowering our fuel load and offsetting the driver as well, because one variable you have is obviously how much fuel you put in the thing. So we actually run a radium tank. We partnered with Radium.
Yep.
Amazing product. We love it. There's a lot of products of Radium in New Zealand now, and they're growing and growing throughout the drift scene and motorsport scene in the world.
Because isn't everything in one now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's in FCST.
Yeah.
I think I got that right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Radium, if I
FCS,
didn't.
yeah.
But
So
it's
all the pumps and everything, all the surge tank, everything, all enclosed into one bladder.
So where have you got that?
So we put that.
So obviously that's where you fill it up now, right?
Yep, you fill it up. That goes through dash 20 line, dash 20 bulkhead, all ethanol rated.
Yep.
And it sits just behind the passenger seat in an enclosure.
Oh God.
Was it
There's an
clear?
enclosure
Oh
in
yeah.
there.
Yeah. Wow.
All bulkheaded as per our Motorsport New Zealand rigs, and it holds just over 20 litres of ethanol. So
Yep.
everyone goes, why do you want to put fuel in all the time? The tyres on these things only last 2, maybe 3 laps at some tracks. So
Yep.
every time you put a fresh set of tyres on the thing, the boys are putting 10, 12 litres of ethanol in it. 'Cause
Yep.
they're obviously hungry and making horsepower.
So speaking of tyres, you guys have had a big change there too, eh?
Definitely, since probably last time you were over here,
I was here in 2019, so lots changed.
pre-COVID.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
fun down at Summer Bash and doing those laps.
Yep.
We're all on Zestinos, that sort of thing.
Oh, it was too.
We ran a lot of Zestino tyres.
Yep.
We had a great partnership through them and through World Time Attack when we competed the year after, I believe, when we saw you there. Might have even been that year actually. It was actually that year, so it was pre-Summer Bash. So we were on Zestino.
Yeah, right.
But now we've partnered with a great company, Carter's Tyre Service.
Yep.
We're aligned with Carter's Tyre Service Pukekohe, who's an amazing person, Josh, who just loves motorsport. He's backed a lot of drifters through his time. He's damn keen. He looks after and does a whole lot of alignments and a whole lot of cars throughout D1. And we partnered with him and GT Radio New Zealand, these GT Radio Champions, the SX2.
Yep.
With this tyre is the same tyre which Carl Ruderman used to use back in the day when you would have
Wow.
competed.
How long ago was that?
That'd be nearly 10 years ago.
What, and they're the same?
Different compound.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah.
obviously, but same sort of tread pattern and stuff. So we use the GT Radial. This is the same tread pattern that FD Pro 2 in America uses. Obviously, they use a different compound. It's an SX2
yep.
RS, which we're waiting on to get our hands on here in New Zealand. But when we do, these things will be good. But they're an amazing tyre. They're consistent all the way through the tyre's lifespan.
And what are you wrapping them around now?
We wrap them around. We've always been involved with work
Yep.
wheels.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to get Work Wheels on board, Work Wheels New Zealand.
Yep.
We've always wanted to run genuine wheels, and it's in the past it's definitely hurt the wallet, that's for sure, with the amount of door banging and everything and these concrete rounds. But yeah, great to have Work Wheels on board and get these wheels you see on the cars now. So we've had these on there for 2 seasons. Yeah. And awesome to have some really good looking wheels on these, and especially in white too. They take a little bit more to clean, but
Yeah, I'm sure your crew loves that.
yeah. When we come back, we've got so many of them that we have to clean all the brake dust and rubber and everything off. But
Jeez.
yeah, no, they're really cool, really cool. The T5R, so Work Emotion T5R. We run 10s on the rear, 10.5 on the rear, and then we actually only run an 8.5 on the front.
Yeah.
6, so we can only run quite a small wheel on the front with a really tough looking offset, should we call it? But yeah, for the wise fab, keeping the wheels inside the guard. There's no spacer on there whatsoever. That's just how much it offsets with the wise fab setup we've got in here.
Yep.
But we run the 8.5 up the front. Still 18 and 225 Nankang AR2 on this as well. AR1, sorry.
The
Nankang.
Supra's got that too. Because
Yeah, it
everyone
does.
uses
It
these
does.
tyres.
Everyone
don't they?
uses these tyres in New Zealand.
Yeah, wow.
They're really good through summer. Probably winter it takes a little bit more to get the heat in, as you probably found.
I was shocked how good they were in the wet, to be
Yeah,
honest.
we were as well. We were actually thinking of changing to like a NS2R,
Yep.
which is got more grooves for water.
Yep.
But these were actually really good. But we didn't do to be honest. Ben and I didn't do too much wet running, but we only did it in the morning. Apart from your battle with Hanger, obviously, but yeah,
Top
it was,
16 battle, it rained.
they're real
heavily
good, real good
before
tyres.
I entered, so apologies, Banger. I hit him pretty hard.
He'll get over it.
He'll get over it.
Yeah.
We punished him this weekend. Luckily, he's our good mate.
So these 2 cars, obviously, this one over here, identical. What's the differences? Besides,
Identical. They're identical apart from the seating position.
Yep.
Like the good thing about that is, everything we do on one, we can do on the other.
Yep.
The big trailer you see behind us, we've got all the spares in there, so every spare part.
This is new, eh?
Yeah. It's a big 3-axle trailer, fully loaded up. It's just over 3 ton with the car and fuel and all the spares. The gear wrench tool set that doesn't move out of the trailer, it just comes to us with the vents. We've got our own tools in the workshop. Fits all the tyres and wheels up on the rack. It's got in-floor storage, electronic winch, workbench at the front that folds down. So, I always thought of that back in the day if we were doing diffs and that sort of thing, or gearboxes, you can pull that workbench down and work on it up there. So you've just got everything you need to fit a super wide car on and all the gear and spares that are related to our program.
This weekend is obviously Bay Park. No, next weekend.
Next weekend.
So
we got 1 week in between. It's like 10 days between 2 concrete wall rounds.
Yep.
We don't have too much to do, but 2 cars, turn around, full-time jobs, things like that. It definitely makes it harder.
Yep.
But and we obviously do 100% of the work ourselves and our crew. So it's a big job to turn it around, and especially go into the final and have 2 concrete rounds in a row. So we're very fortunate, not too much damage to come from what you would normally have at a concrete round.
Yeah.
We're repainting bumpers and stuff like that, and we really pride ourselves on keeping these cars immaculate.
Yeah, because you guys have got like spare bars and you guys always make these look presentable.
Exactly, yeah. So we're lucky to be backed by NST Parts and affiliation with Toyota New Zealand. So parts are obviously easy to get, but it's more the preparation, painting and stickering that is a major. So
how many hours do you reckon you'd put in on a very basic preparation before next weekend?
You probably do after work for the next couple of nights, probably do 4 hours a night.
Yep.
And then we'll do, obviously they've just come off the trailers. We're only 3 days out from Mount Smart, and they're filthy, so we pull them apart. The rears come off them, the guards come off them, everything, and they get a full clean down here, and then start again. So we've already checked out what we've needed to do, and we've done a lot of maintenance. Obviously Chromie's been down here tonight, helping us. He's an amazing asset to our team over the last couple of years, and we're now allowed all the maintenance, fresh motor oils through to make sure they're reliable and just keep them running 100%, and it just gets rid of your mind of if there's going to be any breakages. You've got the best support and the lubrication and the oils. So we'll go through them properly, and there's just a whole lot of things you need to tick off, and it's a real mental thing as well to make sure that you're well prepped going into it, especially such a big event like Bay Park with concrete walls and things around.
For sure. So what you just go through, check like all the suspension, bushes. Do you guys like change belts or do anything like that, or you just
everything's inspected obviously?
Yep.
All the belts, all the drive line, full bolt check, everything's paint marked. You can see if things have moved.
True.
I've had to put a new tie rod in this thing.
It
was pretty bent after the contact with Fanger in that battle that I've had, and a few things in Troy's car that he had to go through.
Yeah, it's just a full go through of anything mechanical really. They get put through a whole lot of stress with what we do with drifting, so maintenance and reliability is key in what we do now, especially when we're travelling further away from our workshop here. So making sure that we're checking over everything and using the right oils, which we've fortunately been backed by Motul for many years now. By having their 300V through these, we've got really reliable engine package here and gearbox package, and as long as we keep on top of that maintenance and make sure that everything is 100% before we leave, we can go into it pretty confident.
Because you guys obviously have got probably enough spares to cover one whole car, or
we got multiples of certain things like your steering components, your tie rods, and all your arms in the back and everything like that. We've got multiples of those, the stuff that you would go through on these some sort of rounds, but there is also some things that we do only have, one set of or one pair of, which is generally your stuff you wouldn't go through all the time, But if we find, every round, we ask the boys as well, if we find that we're short on something or something was real close to it, we'll make sure we've got double of that for the next one, and it just stays in the trailer and it never leaves the trailer. It just stays in there all the time as sort of another rolling workshop. So you want to make sure you've got everything just so it makes our job less stressful, and the whole team as well makes it really easy for them when they know the parts are in the trailer every time.
Yeah, true.
And it's always a thing of like, if you don't have it in the trailer, it's going to get worn or it's going to break, you know, like we have a lot of spares that a lot of other teams probably wouldn't have. A spare Borg Warner, actually have 2 spare Borg Warners.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I was literally going to ask, because I've never ever seen, like, you know, touch wood, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you guys never have issues with the engines, boxes, diffs. Like, but I'm surprised you got spare turbos, because...
Just spare turbos are just there for, if we didn't have one, you might have something go through it.
Yep.
We've always got one in the trailer. Spare throttle bodies, spare fittings, every single fitting that's in the car. A lot of these are Phoenix fittings for the coolant and things like that.
Yep.
They're all in the trailer, so if you ever had a leaky fitting, whether it be oil, brake lines, clutch lines, water lines, whatever, we've got a spare, so you make sure that, if you ever need it, that it's always there. But
Far out.
a lot of things are spares. Yeah.
And that's half of it. It's the half of, it's the expensive part of it. It's the stuff just in case, right?
Yeah.
The stuff you've got on the trailer that you take to an event, you just don't think about just the car itself. Like, I know how many thousands of dollars are sitting in this trailer behind me because of insurance purposes, and there's a whole lot there that are there just in case. So, when you have a program, you've got to have the spares as well. AJ?
Yes. I was just singing in my head, Yep. We won't go there.
We've pretty much got a full spare set of Wisefab for one of the cars. You'd hope you wouldn't have to put 2 full sets of Wisefab. That'd be a really bad weekend. Things like that. We're backed by Turbo Smart. They've been an amazing partner of ours for years. So we've got a spare of every product they have in the cars: the fuel pressure, blow-off valves, wastegates, things like that. And obviously reliability is key. We've got amazing partners: JT Performance Tunes, some huge race engineering, TTI gearbox in it, and then an ever so solid Winters in the rear. So
Yes.
we've got adequate enough spares for the gearboxes and the diffs that we've never needed to do. So, but it's a good peace of mind to know that they're sitting in the trailer ready to go.
Random question. How many gear sets have you guys got between yous?
4 per car.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but then you can swap them over to whatever. We've got heaps of different ratios.
Ah, cool.
For your high and your lows, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many gear sets have you got?
For your Beamer.
One.
For your
And I only just changed it for the first time.
They're so inexpensive as well. Like,
I know, but I don't know.
We're constantly changing gears. Every track in New Zealand, obviously, and to keep these things responsive, they're obviously amazingly responsive with the small Borg Warner exhaust housing on them.
Yep.
But gears, there's obviously a 5-speed TTI sequential, but you can change the characteristics of these cars so fast by just dropping the gears out of the Winters and throwing in a higher or lower ratio.
Yeah, right.
So, we definitely change ratios in the Winters every single track.
Actually, where do you guys, obviously everyone wants to win, but where will you guys be happy to end the season?
We obviously need to be right up there. To be honest, I've had a crapper of a season so far, started off pretty bad at the start of the season, but anyway, it can only get better from here for me. So, looking forward to going all out. Obviously, it's the last one of the season, so we just want to go all out and hopefully get up on that top step. So,
I want to put on a good show. Our team's worked so hard this year. We've come out of 2 years abrupted by COVID, and obviously this one being extended into the winter during COVID, and we have so many passionate people that come with us. It's definitely a drive for me and the team and Troy is to put on a damn good show down there at Tauranga. So we're sitting 10th in points. It's quite close actually this year, quite close in points, but we're just going to come off the trailer and
go all out.
We're definitely going to put on a show for the last one.
Awesome, because I heard that there's they've sold a few, quite a lot of tickets, but they actually opened up a huge amount of seating. Yeah. So,
well, it's a massive place down there. It's a Coliseum, the Speedway, and you're right there. The spectators are right there. So if anyone's watching this and thinking they want to get down there to support, come down and support us. It's the last one of the year. It's going to be a damn hell of a show. The top of the championship's getting real close, as we saw Taylor James and Fanger in the final battle are battling it out to take that top step. And I tell you what, Taylor's going to come out screaming, and being Fanger's 20th year, it's going to be one hell of a show down there at Bay Park with our car.
Bloody oath. Yeah. So if you guys haven't got your tickets,
get into it.
Yep. D1NZ.co.nz or is it just .com?
.com.
I really should know that.
But get into it. Come down and support us. Support Squid in that amazing A90 Supra, which is it's a work of art. That car. I've had a look over it. And as he said, once he gets the grips to that car, I think he's going to be pretty phenomenal. So we can't wait to have him back next year and in the field, and
should be awesome.
we'll see him and we'll see you guys all down there. And geez, it's not even that far now. We'll leave Wednesday. We'll leave in 7 days.
Oh, serious? You guys leaving Wednesday?
We'll leave Wednesday.
No, we'll leave Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Thursday. It's not far from here. It's only
I just
200
work
bit
on
hours.
I just work on the cars. Troy does logistics. That's probably a good idea.
We'll leave.
I reckon that's the harder job, though.
Sometimes, you know, I've been in my own car. Fix them all.
Nah, good work, fellas. All right, we're going to cut to, I'm forcing him to some in-car now of both cars. So I'm going to get that from you, and we're going to cut straight to it. So thanks for your time, fellas.
Cheers.
Always good to
Appreciate
have you
it.
here. Happy
And,
to show you the new shop, and yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, you guys hit them up below if you want to check out their Instagrams and whatnot. They've also got a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, Team JENKINS Motorsport.
Yeah, so that'll be tagged in this video as well. And yeah, if you haven't got your tickets, get them, because it's going to be a ripper show. Thanks again, fellas. See you later.